All right, in this video, I just want to talk about becoming an open-minded individual. I feel like before I started university, I was very a closed-minded person, right? I always thought my opinions were correct. I always believed there was a opinion that was correct and incorrect. That, first of all, is flawed, all right? You should never think that way. And I always had like a very rigid mentality. I wasn't willing to hear other people out. I wasn't, yeah, literally just the opposite of open-minded. Whatever the pure antonym of that is, closed-minded, right? That was me. You know, I didn't care about hearing other people's thoughts. I didn't try reasoning, right? I was always jumping to conclusions and very, yeah, just closed-minded. I mean, there's no other words, right? I didn't try hearing other people out. And I think as I started my university or started my first semester, I kind of just started seeing like a whole new light. And just for some context, I went to a like religious private school during my like elementary to middle school years. And then when I got to high school, I was in like a private online school. So I was kind of deprived of human interaction for, you know, during COVID time. And that kind of went on past COVID after it ended, right? And obviously because of that, I kind of was like more, I just hear the same opinions. It was all repeated. I obviously had friends, but like it wasn't a lot. I only had like a few. I still have a close circle, but I branched out now. I have friends, I have acquaintances. I think I made a video about like choosing your friends wisely, but now I have like a pyramid, if that makes sense. But back then it was just like a small circle and that was it. There was no pyramid. It's just like, you're not my friend, you're my friend, boom. And because of that, I had very limited perspectives and perception of reality, right? And like as I'm getting older, aside like from these friends where I'm hearing their perspectives, I'm also experiencing new things or seeing new things for the first time because I was kind of just like closed, right? I didn't get to experience the world properly. And now I'm in university, I'm kind of just like, you know, walking around just like seeing things for the first time, like seeing how other people act. And there's like international students, so it's like, it's very diverse. It's really diverse, right? People come from different beliefs. People come from different ethnicities. You know, like I feel like my old school, it was same religion, basically same ethnicities, and more so over like because it's like the same education system, people shared like common beliefs, and it wasn't very diverse, right? And then my online school, you weren't allowed to interact with the other students, which was really weird. Like the only way I interacted with other students was like esports and so on. So I kind of had very limited perspectives, right? And as I got to university, I started realizing how important it is to actually understand other people's perspectives, because after like starting to hear other people's thoughts about different things, like it's very intriguing because first of all, it's like new knowledge, right? Maybe they share something that you never knew. And not only that, it gives you kind of like a different perception of reality. I feel like like I was tunnel visioned on what reality truly is, even though I didn't have it figured out, but like I always thought I was right. And then I just had like limited view. And now as you hear other people speak, it's very intriguing because like it's a whole new way of thinking, right? You don't always think the same as other people. I feel like when we think of reality, we always think people see it the same way as us. And like recently I heard about something called synesthesia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's essentially people could like, there's different types of it, but they could, like, letters have colors, they could see sound. It was like different ones. It's very interesting. If you guys want to go look into it, it's like SYNTHASEIA, something like that. And then yeah, synesthesia. And then also like people, God forbid, people who have like the disease, hopefully no one has that, you know, but schizophrenia, right? Their whole like perception of reality is kind of like skewed in a way that we, like us normal people, wouldn't ever understand, right? And it's very interesting to see, like, we all think, you know, maybe grass is green, aside if you're like unfortunately colorblind. That's, I don't know what you guys would see, but, or the sky is blue, whatever it is. And this is all like what our eye perceives and what our brain kind of like, it breaks down the wavelengths, whatever, and then it's kind of like, because I learned that color's not even real. That's our brain just making it up. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. Human biology is very interesting. But what I'm trying to say is like, be open-minded, right? I don't know, I just went on an incredible tangent, but being open-minded allows you to see things in a different way, just as someone with a maybe disease sees something in a different way. All I'm trying to say is, if you are closed-minded right now, you like, your perception of reality is going to be very limited. You won't understand things the way other people do. And it's like, now that because I kind of became more open-minded, whenever someone tells me something, it's easier for me to see why they would do such a thing or why they do something. And I feel like back then, if someone told me anything about, like, I don't know, that I just completely was like, no, I would like cut them off or something. Honestly, like, that's generally how I think. But now that, like, maybe I find out someone now does like something I don't agree with, like, for example, I don't like smoking, I don't promote smoking or alcohol consumption, like, aside from religion, like, it's just not healthy, right? But if I found out one of my closest friends tomorrow was alcoholic, right, and he smokes, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, get away from me. I'd kind of just try understanding why, right? Why do you do it? If you're like a very bad, like, you know, alcoholic, like, are you trying to quit? What's happening exactly? Like, what caused you to do it? And it's not like I'm gonna like cut them off because of that. It's just like, and like, the other most important thing is your perception of that person shouldn't exactly change because of that. Just because you don't agree with what they do doesn't mean like they're a bad person. You know, they're still a good person deep down. You could tell. You know, that's something you have to figure it out on your own. But essentially, you want to be open-minded. Hear other people out. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume. Assumption is very bad. Never ever assume. Never. That, I feel like that should be another video. You know what? That's the next video. We're gonna call it here. That's it. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys. Be open-minded. Never be closed-minded. And with that being said, bye.